know that when you have a purpose and a calling on your life, there's nothing that nobody, and nothing can happen. I am Angela C. Wright.
Over the top, the gotcha.
He said your numbers has shrunk. He said, I don't know how, why.
You're not gonna get you're gonna have to have mounds of security for me because you're not gonna get me.
If I wasn't depressed and going through what I was going through, I probably would have never started.
And this episode was brought to you by the Ayers Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Break Phree Podcast with your girl, Free. And today, I got somebody from that South Side with me. What's up? Y'all say hello to Donnie Johnson.
Hey, how y'all doing out there?
Oh, now he trying to act all humble. How y'all doing out there? They're all monotone.
Yeah, I'm at humble. I'm going to be cool.
You gonna be cool. You gonna bring some of that energy.
Okay, well then let's go.
Yeah. Some of that positivity, some of that motivation.
Go.
Show them where you came from. So you from Jonesboro South?
Jonesboro South. Well, originally, I'm from Miami, Florida.
Oh, you a Florida boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that. It's half and half.
Okay.
Right? So I'm from Miami. I was born in Miami. Then my family came up here. I was around 3, something like that, and we moved to Jonesboro South, and that's where I'm from. That's what raised me. So yeah.
And Jonesboro South, like because a lot of people watching might not know what Jonesboro South is.
I don't know why I think everybody know where these apartments are from in Atlanta, because I guess we did a lot, and we had a big name in Atlanta. So I figured that everybody kind of know the name, but like I said, it's a trap, right? It's a trap. It's almost like a box. We all stood together. We got money together. As a teen, well, I ain't gonna say as a teen, as a young man growing up out there, it taught me a lot about life and what life entails, like the realness of life, the reality of life.
What would you say was the most important lesson you took from being in that box, from being?
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah, because you're saying it taught you about life.
Right, it did.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, so what would you say was like the most important thing that it taught you that you can say, has groomed Donnie?
Right. It taught me how to really, deal with people and how to, like I said, how to build relationships, how to deal with people. It sort of kind of taught me about my emotions a little bit, but the people in the environment didn't really too much know about their emotion. They just acted upon a lot of things impulsively. So I can say that it somewhat taught me about my emotions, but it did teach me about relationships and how to stick together.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing that it taught me, like loyalty.
I think being in, I was never raised in the hood or anything, but I could say when younger, or what I see from the outside looking in on the hood, is that most emotions that people know at that time is only anger. Right.
I agree. They mostly know anger, and they act impulsively, I would say. They act very impulsively because they don't have emotional intelligence, which is a big thing that I stress to the community, because just imagine how many kids or young men or young ladies that's dead or either doing prison time because they don't know how to control their emotions or even how to respond to certain situations because they don't have the tools, right?
Right.
So it's that's why I kind of stress that point so much.
Yeah, but Donnie, you wasn't always the Donnie that you are today. You wasn't always the motivator and, going around and hugging on the kids and loving on the kids. There was a time that Donnie was, what was your nickname? Wooby.
Yeah.
And why did they call you Wooby?
Man, there's a whole backstory on that. I think my uncle named me that because, oh God, I gotta say this on camera. Free gonna set me free today. I promise you. Okay, so it's man, I ain't never told this story, man. When people used to hold me, I used to pee on them all the time. See, I ain't want to say this on camera.
It's okay.
You guys do not hold this against me. Please don't. That's in my past. That's in my youth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I used to,
Yeah. And so he started calling you Wooby.
Woo.
Yeah.
It ain't want to say people because it's too vulgar, but it's you woo on everybody.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of where I got the name from.
And then it just stuck with you.
Right. And then it got to a point where, I was traumatized kid, problem child type.
And what led you into being the traumatized? Because it definitely wasn't because you was a baby being held and peeing on people.
Right.
Yeah. So what led you? Where did the first trauma? What was the first trauma you feel like you experienced?
Oh man. The first trauma that I experienced was losing my dad. I think that was like the biggest trauma that I feel like the world took something from me. So I was angry, like you said. Like we in the hood, we kind of like that's like the first emotion that we kind of like gravitate towards. I was very angry. I was very angry at the world, and it still like affect me to the day, because it's like, yeah, I've educated myself and informed myself to know how to deal with it, but it still don't mean that it doesn't hurt.
Right.
So it's just like having that
avoid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Avoid, and my father being absent, it led me to doing a lot of things that I didn't have no business doing, like breaking into schools and breaking into cars, people's houses, taking all type of stuff.
You was a stick-up kid?
No, I wasn't no stick-up kid. We'll run in your spot, though. Like, for sure. We'll run in your spot. We get to drop on you, run in your spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the type of kids we were coming up. Yeah.
And so prior to your dad, was he killed or?
Yeah, he was killed to gun violence. Yeah,
oh, okay.
He was killed to gun violence.
So is that why you feel like your passion stems so much today, like with the kids about gun violence?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's like the stem of it. Like, that's what made me, like, go so hard for them, because I don't want them to, like, go through the things that I went through. Because some of the things I went through, it's crazy because my mentor told me this, like, maybe 3 years ago. He told me that, like, and it was so simple, though. Like, that was the crazy part about it. It was so simple, but it went so far over my head. He was like, it's a lot of things in life that you just don't have to go through. And I'm like, okay. But then now I'm like, oh, wow, it's a lot of things I could have avoided by listening to somebody else, advice, or looking at somebody else's example or experience. But that's why I, like, really, like, home in on that with them and try to, like, help them to navigate that space.
Did you understand death at 9 years old?
No, I still don't. I still don't understand it. And it's crazy because I was just talking to some kids at the youth build program. And I started crying now, literally. Like, it was like 2 weeks ago. Because I don't know how to deal with death. Like, I'm not going to no funeral. I'm not doing none of that. Like, it just, I don't know, man. I don't deal with death real good. Like, still to this day, like, right now, I do not deal with death real good.
And so what did you think when your dad, like, how did your mom tell y'all? Like, what did you think when your dad just didn't come home again, or going that process of seeing everybody, all the grown people crying and people coming over to the house with food?
Oh, man, it was like, for me, okay, so my dad got killed up here. Dad's Haitian, so he's down in Miami. So he got killed here on the west side, actually. And then they had his funeral back in Miami. But I actually saw my dad laying there.
No, wait, you didn't tell me he got...
Yeah. I tell you, we're going to say that for this.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, yeah, I saw his actual body covered up, like, puddle of blood there. And it just was like, I didn't even know how to respond to it. Better yet, understand it. So it was like, I just didn't get it. It was so long I was just so numb to, like, anything.
Your grades and everything dropped in school?
Oh, for sure. I wasn't like a dumb kid. I just made bad choices, which a lot of our kids these days, they do. I don't think none of them are, like, dumb because we have the ability to obtain information.
Yes, we have to learn.
Right. So it's like, for me, it's kind of like, who's pouring into these kids to really actually push them that way is what, like, my concern is. Like, for me, like, I didn't have anybody to do that for me. I mean, the guys in our hood tried to, but hell,
they were selling drugs
weed
and killing.
Right. So it's like, how could you
tell me when the way you living is not right?
Right. They tried their best though. Like,
so do you remember anybody like that per se that was in the hood when you was younger and tried to tell you like, Wooby, don't do that, or Wooby, don't go that way, or Wooby, you could do?
Yeah, for sure. I actually played basketball too, like coming on up like into like high school, middle school, high school. So we moved away from like my dad being killed to like now I'm in like high school, middle school, right? Middle school, high school. So it's like I had guys like, I'm pretty sure the city know these guys. Kente from Jonesboro South, Big Twan. He's actually from Oakland City. Like he's over like a little baby hole situation. Those are two of the guys that were like very instrumental in pushing me toward like, you know, hey bro, you need to play basketball, whatever you need to do, I'm gonna fund it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pushing me towards it, and it was like, although they did their thing, it was like they didn't want us to do it. They didn't want us to do that. So they pushed us to school. Like, we couldn't sell drugs. I didn't start selling drugs till, like, I got out of high school. Like, that kind of how I dropped out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started selling drugs. I picked drugs over basketball because the money was
money
there.
was fast.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, how did you get involved? Like, how did you get involved in the dope game? Was it lack of money, or was it seeing, like, the dudes with the cars, they got all the girls? Like, what was your motivation? Mine was greed.
Greed?
Yeah, mine was greed. Because I came from a two-parent home. You get what I'm saying? I was spoiled as a kid.
Right.
Like, we sat down, ate dinner together, that type of thing. Cosby said a Bible verse before we ate, but my choice in men, I started dating dope boys at a young age. That seed was planted. Then it just grew. So mine was greed.
Well, I was inspired by, like, guys that got money. So it was like, I just wanted to get some money. You get what I'm saying? And, like,
And you didn't think a 9 to 5 could get it?
No, not really, because that's all I saw. It wasn't even 9 to 5. My mom worked 9 to 5. Like, she used to be gone, and I used to, sorry, Mom, but I used to be at home by myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's how things started to happen. You know, one person, I remember one situation that I had. I was like, I still remember it to this day. One of the big time guys in our neighborhood, the police was around our corner at the front door of our apartment. And I was telling him, and he was about to make a play. And I'm like, hey, bro, they in the front. I ran to the back door, like, hey, they in the front. So he dropped this whole trash bag full of pounds right here by my mama's trash can. I closed the door, and he just walked around like nothing ever happened. And, you know, that was my first, like, introduction into, like, oh, yeah, I want to do this. Like, he gave me $200 just for just keeping
just telling him.
Yeah, like, so I'm like,
look out, yeah.
My mom came home. Sorry, Mom, again. My mom sold drugs, too. Sorry, Mom, she's 60 years old now. So
yeah, far removed from the street.
Yeah, but she sold drugs too, so I kind of like saw her running with the dope boys too. So it was like, I kind of like just went after what I saw going on. Like, I did what I seen going on.
Do you feel like that's part of that trap that you talk about?
For sure.
In that box?
For sure. Because you don't see anything outside of that, and I'm glad that you said that, because you have Jonesboro South, then you have Cleveland Avenue. We didn't even know Cleveland Avenue existed, and that was like a street over.
Are you serious?
Like, that's how trapped we were. Like, everything that we needed was, like, in our apartments. Like, we had a corner store in front of our apartment. So it was like, the hood was just so fun. I mean, me coming up from an adolescent, like, it was like, that's all we needed. And then like, most of the people that was in our projects, that's all they did, was come out on their porch, sit. It was messy, you know, fights, fire hydrant, that type of hood. It was like a real hood. So it was like, you know, and we kept everything inside our hood. Like, if we beef with each other, it stay inside of the hood and then come outside of the hood.
Yeah.
If we were beefing as young men, they'll put us in the circle. We had a big circle in our apartment. They'll put us in the circle, put us on some boxing gloves, and we'll go at it. So we had ways of handling stuff inside our apartments. That's why I was saying, like, that's what helped me, like, translate to reality in my real life. Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure you had run-ins with the law.
Oh, for sure.
And what was that like?
Jesus Christ, I had so many, though. I had so many. I remember a time my mom was like, I was in the back of a paddy wagon on Metropolitan. Like, they stopped me. I had weed in the car. I'm kicking the paddy wagon door. Like, I was horrible. Like, now that I look back at it, like, you reminded me, I'm like, dang, I was horrible.
But it was because you was just doing what you thought was right at the time.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
ain't know
mean?
nothing different.
Yeah. But I feel like, too, Donnie, that's why you're able to reach the kids now.
Why?
You understand
Why
what I'm
you
saying?
say that?
Because you know exactly what they're experiencing.
Right.
You've been
right,
there.
right,
You
right.
know what it's like.
Gotcha.
Like, I always tell them when I go to the schools, when I talk to principals stuff, they're not going to listen to you. Right. They're not listening to the school teacher. Right. 9 times out of 10, they're not listening to their mom and them because they feel like they just trying to run their life. But when they see Donnie coming through, you coming through in the Maserati, got the Rolex on. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Donnie got cred from Jonesboro side. They're going to listen to you.
Right,
and then the advantage that you have over them is wisdom, number one, and 2, experience.
Right.
Because you lost your father at 9. You know what it's like not to have a dad.
Right.
They dad might didn't get killed, but they dad not prevalent in their life.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what it is to be home taking care of yourself because your mom got to work to provide for you.
Right.
That's what they going through.
Right.
So they can connect with you, and that's why you have the advantage. And that's why, you know, I look at some of the reels that you put up and everything, and the kids to see the light in their eyes.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? These like tough kids with demeanors, but it's times where I look, I don't care. One day y'all was like playing ball or something like that, like something simple.
Right.
And even the young girls, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just that they spirit light up, but it's because
That's what hit me the most, though. Out of both, like, genders, like, the young ladies, man, it'd be like, Coach Donnie. It'd be like, man, like, I'm like, who am I? Like, sometimes I have problems with that, though. Like,
you struggle with imposter syndrome? Why?
Yes, like, crazy. I just told one of my guys this summer, because we had, like, the program with the city of Atlanta, the Teen Leaders Academy, and I told them, I stood up in front of them and was like, bro, like, I don't really feel like I'm supposed to be in front of y'all for real. I do not feel that way.
Oh, no, you got to take that. That's nothing but that mentality of trying to tell you you're not enough.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But you are enough. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? And you have what it takes. Like, I feel like that God allow us, this is my personal opinion.
Right.
I feel like we have a path that's set out for us, right? And either way we go on that path, it's still going to bring us back to our destiny.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Right. So God has spared you over and over again with run-ins with jail, you know what I mean?
Right,
Shootouts, whatever, running into people's house when you could have been killed because he knew what Donnie needed to do.
Right.
And Donnie needs to pour into these kids because our kids are so lost right now. Right. Even in our generation, Donnie, we might have been like wild and stuff, but we was nothing like how these kids, these kids they don't even want to get no money. They just want to kill each other.
Yeah. It'd be
dirty
crazy.
and killing each other.
Right.
I'd be like, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, you know,
I've watched it.
Yeah, you see it. You see it firsthand. You get what I'm saying? So you have to get that out your mind, feeling like you're not enough, or you don't belong, or you're not the one to lead them, because you are. You're the chosen one. You just gotta
I'm starting to embrace it a little bit more because, like, I have talked with people like you, right? And it's like off the camera. You get what I'm saying? Like them off the camera conversations is like the ones that I like really take with me. And it's like, bro, you really him. You can do this. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, God chose you to do this. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I'm embracing it a little bit more now, but it just came from, like, me really, like, I don't know, it's just a transition for me. Like,
and that's another thing that I was about to touch on. You're not too far removed from the streets.
Right.
You just literally transitioned, 4 years ago?
Yeah. At max, 4 years.
Yeah, you know, so for real, it's kind of still fresh in your blood.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I be feeling myself sometimes like, I be on that bull sometimes. For real, I be like so ratchet. You know what I'm saying? But it just be like, bro, you got to conduct yourself. But then it's like, too, I like that part of me, though. Like, I like certain versions of myself. You get what I'm saying? Because it allows me to be authentic. It allows me to be genuine.
And it helps you stay grounded.
Right. And it also allows me to have influence, right? Like you said, like over the kids and stuff like that, it allows you to have wisdom and allows you to have influence over them. And I think that's what they need. Like, a lot of people don't have that relevancy towards them. They just trying to tell them what to do. And it's like, I believe that you got to really show them step by step. And
you have to let these kids know that you care.
Right.
Because most of them just want you to love on them.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
that's so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah. I'm a school teacher first. You know what I mean? Before a drug dealer.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then I just know, too, women, we are more emotional than men. So you know that the emotional side is what touches someone. Right. You get what I'm saying? And you have that story to touch into that they could tap and that they could draw into, and then you got the cred. They could be like, do y'all know Donnie from Jonesboro side? So they know you ain't lying.
I had one kid do that.
He did?
Yeah,
Fact
he was like calling these little young guys up. He was like, yeah, man, y'all know Man, that's how bit dog. Like, it was like, oh, okay. Then it was, he was like, he on the edge, like he was barely coming to the program. And it was like, okay, you know what, we gonna just let him be. But then I was like, nah, we can't
lose him.
He just had a kid and everything. He's like, he's only like 16, 17. He just had a kid. So I'm like, wow, that was like mind-blowing to me. And then just to see him growing in this aspect to where, like, he's becoming a young man is everything to me. I think that's what I get. I think that's what gives me the confidence to keep going. Is to see the results that is pushing out. You get what I'm saying? To see these young guys, like you say, light in their eyes when I see them, is like, I don't know. I guess because I'm in it, I don't really get to see it like that.
Yeah.
How
but
you
have
see
to
it?
take that. You have to take that step back, and then too. Sometimes you got to reflect on the day, Donnie.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, when you home or you in the shower, reflect on it. Bring it back in your mind to feel that motion of seeing the kids light up, hearing the kids say, Coach Donnie, Coach D. You get what I'm saying? You just have to try to live into those moments, because sometimes we do so much and we go so hard that we don't step back to really realize, you know, that, hey, we are making a difference in the world. Like it, and I'm preaching to myself too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's times where I'm super hard on myself. And somebody be like, you don't think you done did a lot? You only been home 2.5 years, but to me, it ain't enough. You
Only
get what I'm
saying? 2.5 years?
Oh, you ain't know that?
Oh yeah, man, come on, man. You too hard on yourself. Free yourself.
Free myself.
Yeah,
oh,
go
y'all,
free
did y'all
yourself.
hear that? He trying to
Free
tell me
yourself.
what to do on my show.
Free yourself, free. Like for real. Like you going hard. Like I appreciate what you doing, and then creating a platform for people to share their story and free themselves. You know, I think that's like really, really genius of you, and I think it's like really like genuine of you. You know what I'm saying? Like to really share that.
Because my whole idea, you know what I mean, not to down anybody or anything that anybody else has going on, but I feel like we have enough relationship podcasts. I feel like we have enough gossip, you know, podcasts, blogs, and all that, and we don't have enough of encouraging and inspiring.
Right.
And then too, people need to connect with people, not just the superstars.
Right.
They need to know like it's superstars right in front of you in a different way.
Right.
And I just feel like, you know, this is the platform that I wanted to create to inspire the world. Like,
That's
you
dope.
know, regardless to whatever you've been through.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't care if it's rape, molestation, murder, you did some armed robbery, whatever you've been through, you could get through it and it's still life on the other side.
That's dope.
Yeah. So that was like the whole, you know, that was the whole point of the podcast and me wanting to give back.
Real quick question for you. What's your why, and like why you like pointing to the young ladies like you do? Because I've reposted your stuff. Like, you know, I'm gonna repost you every time.
Yeah.
I've reposted you, and I'm like, to see you have that type of influence over that many young ladies, like, what drove you to that point? Like, if you don't mind me asking, because I do want to.
It's fine. Okay, so I have the type of personality where people are just naturally drawn to me, right?
Right.
That is a gift from God.
Right.
So before I was using that gift for them kilos. I'm just going to be straight up. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm soft on the eye when it comes to a dude. You
Right.
get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I'm easy to trust. It's just something in me. So I use that to my advantage when I was in the streets. Right. Dudes love to get money with me because they know we going to get to the bread. I ain't setting nobody up. I ain't doing none of that. All we going to do is get this money in
Right.
this state, that state, and that state.
Right.
So when I was in prison, I realized the influence that I have, like, over grown men, over women, over people, and I was wrong for using it in that way.
Yeah.
So I told God, when you deliver me, because I had 30 years, fed time. So, I'm 30, I would have did 26 years. My out date was 2033, right? I told God, when you deliver me, not if, I said, God, when you deliver me, I'll spend the rest of my life, as many lives as I ruin, selling drugs, I'm a save, you know what I mean, in a positive way. So that's why I go so hard. And I don't want I don't want no man, no young woman, nothing to have to go through what I went through. Prison is not what's up. You know what I mean? The music, people will think like, oh, this the life. No, it's horrible. Who wants somebody telling them when to get up and go to the bathroom? You know what I mean? You be happy to have a visit, and then you come back, I got to strip buck naked, bend over, open up my ass, and cough in front of another grown woman. No, that ain't life. So I be vivid, I be vulnerable, so they know like this ain't what's up. And this episode was brought to you by the Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture. So Donnie, tell me, what made you make that transition?
So I had a situation that happened to me. It's a very, very vulnerable situation too, as well. I rarely even talk about it because it's so sensitive. But I was, in close connections with a known rapper from Atlanta. One day we were leaving the studio. He was going to do his endeavors. I was going back to the neighborhood, and I noticed a car following us. Once we got onto the expressway, and like the people that was in the car with me, they listened to the music.
Not paying attention.
I'm on my P's and Q's, like, hey, this car following us, like, for sure. They kept playing the music. So we get off on the exit of Cleveland Avenue, and let me show you how God worked, for real. It was 3 cars. It was us and then 2 cars. The car that was following us was the 3rd car. We had a car in between us. The car in between us just skirted off and went into like the main road of Cleveland Avenue. Just went down, like swerved around us and just pulled off and whoop. Now I'm seeing this car again in my side mirror and I'm just like, hey, that's the same car, y'all. Like, they still not paying attention. So I tapped the chicken like, hey, look, don't go to my mom's house. Just let's drop him off. I had one of the young kids with me. Like, he was like 17 at the time. He did a lot of music. He's actually really known now too. He in the back seat. He jamming, listen to a song he just did. We pull off. We go through Hateville, and then we came to a stop sign. I told her don't stop at the stop sign. This, I ain't gonna call her. Say helpful. I just say like old folks say helpful. Nah, she stopped at the stop sign after I was like, don't stop at the stop sign. As soon as she stopped at the stop sign, I seen the fire coming from the gun. Like before I even heard the gun, like it was just that slow motion for me.
Everything slowed down.
Yeah, I kind of like tensed my body up. Like I know I'm finna be hit. I know I'm finna get hit. He too close. He was too close for me not to get hit. That's how I know God like real. You get what I'm saying? Bang, 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 bang. She get the spin off. I rolled down my window and just threw my gun out the window and just started shooting. I ain't know what I was. I just started shooting back. Boom, boom, boom. But the thing was that in that moment, I noticed that I wasn't scared and I was totally locked in. But I kind of like, when I let the window down, I heard bullets. Like, I never heard that before in my life. Never really been shot at before. This the first time.
Yeah.
The bullets sounded like torpedoes. And I'm just like, yeah, this ain't for me. Like, once we got away, I'm like, nah, this ain't for me right here.
At least you had a rider with you. At least she ain't start panicking and tense up and stop the car.
I mean, she was screaming, though.
Well, the screaming is, you got, okay.
We riding, she screaming. She like, what you done got us into? I'm like, I ain't did nothing. Like,
yeah.
So then it was like, man, it's crazy. So following that, I'm just like, whoever it is, they know me and they know my mom. Because everybody used to pull around my mom's house. So it was like, they know where my mom stayed. They going to pull around her. So the next day, I was just outside with my strap, just roaming the neighborhood just to try to see, like, what would the reaction going to be from that. And nothing ever happened. Then God kind of, like, put it on my spirit. And he was just like, that wasn't for you. But it was for you. And I was like, and then I had went to sleep that night, and then he showed me this is the first time I ever seen this in my life. He showed me an archangel. I didn't even know his name. I had to Google it. It was an archangel. I think his name was Michael.
Michael Gabriel, yeah.
Yeah. He showed me that, and he was like, he showed me him hovering the car, protecting the car.
Get out of here.
And I was like, it gave me chill right now. Like he
it
showed
gave me
that.
chills. Look at
I'm
the head
serious.
standing up on my arms.
I didn't even know nothing about archangels. I just started researching and Googling and YouTubing. And it was like, he showed me him hover the whole car.
The highest angel.
Yes, he showed me him hover the whole car. And that at that point, that's when I started making that real transition. I was like, this ain't the life for me, because I could have lost my life that night if that angel went over that car. I knew for sure.
Nobody got hit in the car.
I thought he shot blanks. I'm telling you, I'm so serious. Like, I seen the fire coming out the gun. I was like, this dude got to be. Once I got to where I was going, I confronted him a little, bro. I done whipped the strap out on him, hit it back on him, finna hit him with it. Because I'm like, bro, what you got going on? Like, you got, like, you know, I don't even move like that for real, for real.
Yeah.
You know, at least when I was out there, like, doing my dirt, I moved smart. Like, I ain't moved with a lot of people. So nobody really know what I had going on. Because I ain't want nobody to tell on me either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was just like, he started crying like, bro, I can't believe you even think I'd do something like this. So God kind of set me and showed me that, like, it was actually for
somebody else.
Yeah. Like, that was, and it was just
but
like.
But they thought that y'all was in the same car.
Right.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Because the car we had was dark tints. So they instantly thought it was us. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, man, that shit was crazy. That right there made me like, okay, you know what? It's time to turn this thing around. Yeah. Because I know that night I supposedly lost my life.
And how did you even lay your head down and go to sleep that night after that? Like, how did you even go to sleep?
I didn't go to sleep. I didn't go to sleep. I was so geeked on adrenaline. Like, I was just up. Like, I'm just up. I'm geeking. I tried to smoke. At that time, smoking a little weed. So I tried to smoke me some little weed. That didn't help. It was just like, okay, cool. I'm finna pop me a Xan. I was really doing all that type of stuff. You get what I'm saying? Pop me a Xan. Because that's what I was really doing, Xans and drink. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, pop me a Xan. It was like, no, that didn't work. And then it just like once everything calmed down, I laid down and God kind of showed me what was going on. So, yeah, that was my transition point right there.
And you said that never again.
Nah, that was it. I'm done. You
Cold turkey.
Mix me with it. I'm gone. Bye.
But what did those around you think? Did they think you was crazy? Because you said you was done?
Of course. Everybody thought I was tripping. They thought I was on drugs and everything. Like, they thought I was really, like, I just was done. I really stopped talking to everybody, like, literally, like, changed my number and stopped talking to everybody. And then it was like, at the time, did I have social media? Yeah, I had Instagram. I deleted my Instagram. And I just stopped. I was gone for like a year. Like, I was gone for like a year, and God was just rebuilding me. I had started reading my Bible. I started, like, defining words and that whole process. Like I told you, I had to inform myself. Mm-hmm. That whole year, I had informed myself, and then I came back into a place where I was just like, okay. I hadn't still figured it out yet. Mm-hmm. Still haven't now, but it's just like I kind of had a clue of what it is I'm supposed to be doing.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because I was always around young guys then, because it was like, young niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was like influenced in the wrong way. Mm-hmm. So it was like now, like you said, it's pretty much similar to your story. I had to shed light on these kids and really pull them out of these situations that we almost done got them into.
Right.
You know, out of
ignorance.
Yes, out of ignorance and not knowing. You know, like God say, like, you know, we perish from a lack of knowledge. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what I was doing.
Did you have a relationship with God prior to the shooting? Yeah.
Yes.
So you always knew.
My mom and my grandma always was like heavily into God, church. My mom used to take us to church and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm very familiar, and I have my own personal relationship with God.
Because that's what it takes, a personal relationship. Yeah.
I got a personal relationship with God at 9 when my dad died. Like, I done had some real encounters with God. Like, if I said it right now, like, it'll, like, spook people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Tell us one.
When I was 9, I was sitting at the kitchen table. It was dark in there, and this light just came. And I didn't know what it was. I just dropped my knees and said, Jesus. And I ran upstairs to my mom. I was like, Mom, I just saw Jesus. And she was like, boy, stop playing. I'm like, Mom, no, I'm serious. She was like, well, I never really said his name to you, so you must have had saw him, right? So he was like, what you see? I was like, it's just this huge light that I couldn't even bear. Yeah. I couldn't see it. And I think, like, that was the point when he was telling me, like, I was chosen. So it, like, the process had started then. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And then it's just like, along the way, like you say, those paths, you can choose to go down these paths, and then they always end back up into life.
For sure, it's going to always lead back.
That's what I'm at.
And two, when you chosen by God and covered by God, not only does he protect you, he'll guide you. Right. You get what I'm saying? And even when you do something you know you don't have no business, he going to poke you.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
And then sometimes he'll allow those things to happen in order for you to become better. But, like, a lot of people get frustrated in those moments. I always like to say this, like, frustration is like an indication that you need to adjust something.
Woo! Frustration is an indication that you need to adjust something.
Yes. Yeah. Instead of, like, embodying the frustration, it's like look inwardly and say, hey, what is it that I need to change in order for me not to be in this state? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's kind of like, it started helping me to see things different, man. I see stuff so different now, it's not even funny. Like, for real. It's a real transition.
And talk about your organization,
Misfit
to Mogul.
That is right there. Misfit turned Mogul. So Misfit turned Mogul, how that even came about. It's a story behind everything. And
Tell me.
It has to include God. It's like God is the centerpiece of it all. Mm-hmm. So, like, I was laying on my bed one day, and I was just, like, sitting there, and I just heard Misfit turned Mogul. It was just dropped in my spirit. Yeah. So I, like, kind of defined the words. Like, I'm a geek for, like, defining words. I want to know the meaning so I can behave that way. Mm-hmm. Like, because I think once you know the word and you know the definition, you can behave that way.
When you know better, you do better.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though it's cliche, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was laying down, I defined the words, and it was, you know, kind of telling me, like, what misfit mean, and then kind of turned me what mogul mean, and it was like, okay, cool. So then I, like, kind of made my own definition. And it's like, you know, a misfit turned mogul is a person that, you know, is judged by society and saying that we're statistics, but we turn the narrative and be an inspiration to the world.
Oh, give me some.
That's it. That's how don't try to steal it. Do not try to steal it. Don't try to rewind this back and be like, oh, hold on, that was a dope look. Nah, don't do that. That's only for us. One more. Explosion. Y'all got to put the explosion right now.
Explosion.
Nah, for sure, though. But, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what a misfit term mogul is. Like, people may label you as something. People may label you as a statistic. They may say, hey, your mama was on Section 8. Hey, your daddy got killed at 9. Hey, you was a terrible child. You was a real misfit, right? Mm-hmm. But then it comes a point in life where everybody has to grow because that's just life. Right. Life is about growth and
evolution.
Evolution, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like everybody's going to have that pivot point, right, where they can get, like you say, freed, right?
Yeah.
They can get freed, and then they can go into their mogul stages of life.
Everybody won't have that moment. Some will miss it. You get what I'm saying? Some will let it pass by them. Mm-hmm. Now, I feel like the moment does present itself to everybody, but everybody doesn't take advantage of it. But that's why we're here to hope that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just said something that really just ruined me, right? I remember my bunkmate told me this. Old cat. Mm-hmm. He told me, he said, don't miss out on your opportunity to grow and be stuck there wondering where you went wrong at.
Say it again. Don't miss out on your opportunity.
Don't miss out on your opportunity to grow and be stuck there wondering where you went wrong at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, people be in a daze because they just haven't cultivated. And it ain't even like, we make stuff harder than what it is for real, for real. It's like, you just have to cultivate your God-given abilities, like listening, comprehension, being able to articulate yourself because you can tell people what you want and what you don't want. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? You got to be able to do that, and cultivating those skills will help you into any room and navigate any space. But people don't do that, and they miss out on those opportunities. So, yeah.
Donnie, you have really grown, and most people want to know, did you graduate high school? I know the answer. Did you graduate high school?
Nah, I actually didn't graduate high school, but I got a surprise coming for y'all within the next 3 weeks. Yes. I promise you. To the youth, I promise y'all this. I got something coming for them.
And why is it so important?
It's so important because, number one.
Because we know you study on your own. Right. And we know you've grown. We know you've evolved. We can see it.
Right,
you know what I mean? You speak with intelligence. You get what I'm saying? But why is it important? Why are you promising the youth?
Because I want them to see an example of what it looks like, right? Mm-hmm. So that they don't have any excuses to say, like, okay, well, Coach Donnie didn't get his. He didn't graduate, so it's cool for me not to graduate. No, I'm not saying that it's cool for you not to graduate. What I'm saying is that we have obstacles that come in our lives, right? That detour us. I said detour.
Detour, yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
They detour us. But it's on you to get back on track because just imagine who's losing because you're not winning in that area.
Ooh, who's losing because you're not winning in that area? That's
so I feel like a lot of people losing because I don't have that.
Right.
And I thank God for this because I'm offered an opportunity that requires me to get it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that I can open more doors for the generation coming behind me. So, yeah, that's I love it, man.
That's what's up. I love it too, and I got to make sure if it's a celebration that I'm invited.
Oh, for
in
sure.
3 weeks, okay?
Oh, for sure.
But before we go,
right.
This is Break Free, so you have to tell me one thing that you feel like you're in bondage to and you need to break free from.
Oh, that's good. Wow. Ask me that question one more time. That's good.
Tell me one thing that Mr. Donnie Johnson feel like he's in bondage to and need to break free from.
That's a real provoking question. If it's one thing that I'm in bondage of and I need to let free right now is that
we can't leave until you give us an answer.
I know, right? And I'm digging.
And you know what I try not to do? I try not to tell, because sometime I will, when we take that break, I will give a heads up. But I try not to do that because I want it to be authentic.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right,
and I want you to think, and I want you to, ask yourself, like, dog, what do I need to get free of?
I need to learn how to, like, really, really, like, and free myself from, like, really embracing, like, who God truly made me to be. Like, I be downplaying it sometimes because I don't want to hurt people's feelings or I don't want nobody to look sideways or I don't want no jealousy or that type of stuff. And it's just like, nah, bro, you him. Like, do you, and you do it at your pace and at your time. That's appointed to you by God. But, like, I think that's what I, like, really need. Because I think, like, this year God calling me to, like, a whole different level.
Yeah.
That, like, no one in my family has ever seen. A lot of people that come from the neighborhoods that I come from never seen. And for them to see me do it, it's gonna hit.
Big.
Yeah, it's gonna sting a little different.
Yeah.
So I gotta get myself together
and be ready.
Within.
Yeah. To step into that role and know, like, you him, baby.
Right.
Let me tell you something. 2024,
right.
we ain't playing small.
Nah.
Yeah,
no
we ain't
small
playing
ball.
small. Big
No
deal,
small.
big deal.
Going big on big, for sure.
Thank you so much for coming by
thank
today. You'll have to come back in the future,
Right.
sometime or whatever. I really enjoyed you.
Right.
And, I just
Same
pray
here.
that God continues to guide you and lead you and protect you in the role that you have that He's
Thank
called
you so
to
much.
be.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah. Well, guys, this has been another great episode of Break Free. And remember, it's always delusion until they see it happen.
Shout out to the crew too, man. Shout out to the crew. Big shout out to them.
Did you say the crew, or you don't want to say the crew?
The crew.
Oh, the crew that's here.
Yeah.
Okay, my team.
The
my
production team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did a great job. They're very welcoming people. Anybody that coming on to their podcast, just know you're going to get set free, but you're going to be welcome as well.
Oh, okay. All right, there you have it. He got the last word. I'll see y'all next week. And this episode was brought to you by the Heirs Agency, a full-service marketing firm noted in entertainment and culture.